Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Massive day on the channel today. We have our 414 stroker engine up on the dyno. Finally, it's been such a long pull. It's been like 6 months since we had it ripped out of the car after we trashed those #1 bearings last race season. That's when we decided to do the stroker build. We had all kinds of problems. Thanks for sticking with us through all that. Problems with ARP fasteners, getting them in, bearing clearance issues. Got it all sorted. You guys have been following along. You saw the short block, you saw the oiling mods, then you saw the time lapse of the whole thing going together. You're going to get a complete build breakdown on this thing right after this. So we're going to get into some heat cycles, get the rings seated, fire it up. I'm absolutely stoked right now. I can't even contain myself. Looking for some big numbers today. Let's get into that complete build breakdown, and then we're going to fire it up and start pulling on the dyno. Okay guys, here's that build breakdown. I'm going to start at the very bottom. We got a new Mylodon 7-quart pan that replaces the 4-quart we had last time. A little more volume. Going up from there, we do have a Hughes engine girdle supporting our main caps to a Mopar 4-inch stroker crankshaft steel crankshaft. 1972 Mopar 360 block, just out of like a truck or something. We got Eagle H-beam rods inside, going up to forged Icon pistons, and those have a +13 dish. It's a 4060 bore with a 4-inch stroke, giving us 414 cubic inches. Back to those pistons, we should have a finished compression ratio of 11.4 to 1. Those trick flow heads have a CC chamber of 60. So that's where we get that 11.4 to 1. Those are trick flow CNC ported heads. Those are the 190s. We'll go up to the valve train. We do have Harlan Sharp 1/6 rocker ratios inside there. Our camshaft is a solid roller 248, 252 at 50, and it comes with a 575 lift, but with the 1/6, as we did the calculation, it's about 616 lift on it. Now, going up top to a Edelbrock Super Victor intake. Now, you guys saw me port that out a little bit on a previous episode. And then we do have a 1-inch spacer that is a tapered spacer going up to our beautiful Holley 950 Ultra XP carburetor. At the front too, we do have an ATI damper, and that is an Edelbrock water pump on there as well. TTI headers, those are 1 7/8. I'm going to be using the exact same ones in the car. Not these exact same ones, sorry, but I have a brand new set of 1 7/8 headers and MSD ignition. I think that's everything. Ready to make some smoke? Let's go! Okay guys, so here is our current state of affair. So we fired it up instantly, but right away Pete could hear a noise, a knock. So we decided to jack the thing up, pull the pan off, see what was going on. And the second we got the pan off, immediately you could see that it's not clearancing. It's hitting the counterweight on the crankshaft. So I'm gonna clean this thing up. I'm gonna actually try to put some pressure on it here, smash this guy out, give us some clearance. And then she's gonna go back on, and then we can refire. We did get it warmed up though, so the valve lash was done. We only had it running for like a minute. It was very obvious that there was a knock though. So valve lash is done. I guess the rings will be seated by now anyway. We're gonna get this clearanced, back on and back up and running. Okay, so we're back. We got the thing totally hooked back up on the dyno, all reattached, and I had to do some aggressive persuasion on that pan. I don't know if you can see that dent down area, but I had to bring it down about 1/4 of an inch. So we should have clearance now, ready to fire it up and keep going on the dyno session and start getting some numbers. Okay, so our first run-in with the air cleaner on, it kind of leaned it out to one bank. We back-to-backed it with it off again, and it is leaner on one side, so we're going to do our first jet change on one bank there only. So we added 3 jet sizes to the rears on the right bank, ready to make another pull. Do another jet change, going up another 2, just trying to get that bank to fatten up a little bit. Made a few pulls now, we're ready to do an oil change and check the filter. We might see a tiny bit of debris in there from our crank hitting our pan earlier, but just have to see. You see in there, Pete?
Very little.
Well, that's good. Oh yeah, that looks way better than the last filter I cut apart. Okay, so we got our total oil change done now. Our filter looked good. Pete's actually gonna chuck 2 more degrees of timing in. We're comfortable with the AFR. We still gotta tweak them a little bit. That one bank is still a little lean, but we're gonna put 2 more degrees of timing in, continue with the process. Okay, so after chasing jetting around a whole bunch, Pete decided to, we had such a stagger in it, we started attacking the high-speed air bleeds, so we finally got some good dyno numbers to report to you guys. So now, we still have some more tickling to do, we're still got to play with some timing, but we're look like we're making 574 horsepower at 5,900, and we're getting 551.8, 552 torque at 5,100. So you can see our air fuel is still a little fat. This side's actually gone a little lean. So we're still playing with those air fuel, working on air bleeds now. So hunting it down. Okay, so now the air bleeds are really doing the trick for us. 6,100 here, we made 580 horsepower. That's the best we've seen all day, and the best torque numbers we've seen too. Right at 5,000 is looking like 5,548, so 555 at 5,000. And you can see we're gonna actually do an air bleed on the other side to bring this closer to this 1290 we're at over here. Okay, so we started off by going with smaller air bleeds on the right bank to fatten up that side, and now we've actually put a bigger air bleed on the left bank to try to lean that side out. Air bleeds work opposite as jets, as the bigger hole, more air, as opposed to a jet, bigger hole, more fuel. So ready to make another test here, get this AFR sorted out. final numbers, guys. We ended up settling on 34 degrees of timing. We played around with it a lot, and we got our jetting and our air bleeds as best we could, and that netted us a peak power number of 583 horsepower at 6,300 RPM, and we made a really nice, looks like 564 foot-pounds of torque at 4,800. And there's our final graph. So air fuel's still not perfect, but it's all within safety, and it was the best we could get it after messing with this thing all day. But that's a really nice horsepower climb, really nice torque curve. We're gonna be launching right around here, right into that torque curve and running it out the back door. I like the 63, that's the most RPM we saw all day too. So I do like that 6,300 RPM, 583 horsepower. Okay guys, that's gonna close out the day. We made a ton of pulls on this thing, and those are final numbers of 583 horsepower. That's a good solid number. It's a little shy of the 600 I was hoping for, but maybe I was just wishing for a bit more than was realistic. We made really good torque numbers though, 564 foot-pounds of torque, right around 4,900 RPM. So this thing is gonna launch awesome. Can't wait for drag race season. It's always so great coming up working at Pete's place, using the dyno, working with him, learn all about air bleeds now. So it's another tuning device that I haven't personally used, but we can take advantage of it with this carb. So really stoked, long day. Thanks for watching guys. Stay tuned, we're dropping this in my 68 Dart and then we're going racing. See you soon.